sure that was nice and loud for you. Sorry, guys. I went live without actually having my headphones on. Hey, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and looks like we're on episode 68, talking comics. Jeez. And yeah, as the statement says very explicitly, my allergies are killing me, which is weird because this lovely weather that we're having, well, yesterday it was gorgeous. We went out for a walk and I had a light jacket on. Today it's snowing outside. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Alright, so a couple things we could talk about. First off, right there on the front, you see, no more mutants. God, like one of the saddest parts in all of comic book history, no matter how you look at it. That statement, those three words, no more mutants, were just horrible. Like, it literally, quite literally, killed the X-Men. You know what I'm saying? There are only 198 of them left. My girl, Danny Moonstar, she got stripped of her powers, and a whole bunch of other people, mutants who were flying. What's up, Ghost Skittle? Mutants who had the ability to fly, were suddenly stripped of their power, just boop, dropped out the ground, down to the ground. What's going on, Sean? And William Dublin with Quicksilver's power boost. What do you think he'll be able to do now, or hope to see? Okay, what I'm hoping to see there, William Dublin, welcome to the channel, by the way, is I'm actually kind of hoping to see that we're going to have somebody who equates to the Flash in the Marvel Universe. Now, if they are going to go that route, personally, myself, I think I would rather see somebody else getting those hyperspeed powers, somebody besides Quicksilver. There are lots of different ways we could go with this. First off, if it were somebody else who had those Flash-level powers, then Quicksilver would still be the guy with the most experience, and this other knucklehead would just be the guy who keeps on running into walls and things like that, you know what I'm saying, which could be kind of cool. But if Quicksilver is going to be the one who's got that Flash-like powers now, we still got to deal with his personality. Will this change him? Will this make him a better person? A lot of what he's doing, a lot of his personality changes because he's in love right now, you know what I'm saying, with Synapse. So there's a really strong chance, there's a really good chance that something else will, come out of his emoting. He won't just be this moron who's always making things worse for everybody. What was it, the Inhumans storyline? I forget which one it was, but whichever one of those Inhumans storyline where he just stuck the Terrigen crystals in him. Like, what are you doing, you idiot? So, yeah. So many times somebody should have just killed him. Rodrigo Fonseca Ojeda. What's going on, dude? And for the first, what do you think they will do about the Hulk in Avengers 689 and 690? I don't know. I'm sure that, what's her name? Vector will probably teleport him down. Otherwise, any of the heroes can teleport or can fly him down. The flying superheroes. I think this is just a way of moving him off the battlefield, so we understand what's going on. Personally, I'd rather just see the Hulk, Banner just like walk away from it and try and get out of there, but I don't know, whatever, it is what it is. We'll see what's going on. We've got three amazing writers on this, though. You know what I'm saying? We've got Jim Zub, who finally, he said he's actually going to come to Gotham Central Comics and Collectibles for 3 hours or so on Free Comic Book Day. I am so excited for that. I am so excited. So I totally talked him into it. It generally fills my heart with joy. Yay, so I'm going to get him to sign one of my comic books, probably an Avengers No Surrender, and just boom, I am ecstatic for that. So that is awesome. Jason Fabek is already supposed to be there. So and Ken Washington, I think, is supposed to be there too. Anyway, did I say his name right? I think I said his name wrong. Anyway, I'm sick. My allergies are killing me. So, why is Quicksilver dating human women? Somebody looking as good as Crystal. You're telling me you would say no to that, Sean? There's your answer. Do you listen to music while you read comics? I do a lot of things while I read comics, Ghost Skittle. Usually I listen to music when I'm trying to write, and I haven't written in a while. It's funny, when I'm trying to write sci-fi stuff, I will listen to something speed metal, all sorts of crazy, like, what do you call it, Iron Maiden. It's just got an insane, incredible guitar, vocals that it's hard to match those kinds of vocals, you know what I'm saying? and just, very sci-fi-y. If I'm trying to write fantasy, I'll put on some like Zeppelin or some Ozzy. If I'm going to try and write something that's going to have like some kind of a political impact, or I'm hoping so, I'm going to go a completely opposite direction. I've got NWA on, I've got Public Enemy on, I've got Rage Against the Machine on, I've got people like that on. I love just, I find what kind of music we listen to when I'm going to write. But as far as reading, sometimes I'll try and help get a song stuck out of my head. For the past month, there's a song by Cold War Kids that's been stuck in my head. The only time I ever really listen to the radio is when I'm driving to the comic book store. You know what I'm saying? On Tuesday, so I could go do my This Week in Comics. And they've been playing a lot of this Cold War Kids song called First. So I had that kind of stuck in my head. It's a really good song. So I just play that in the background while I'm reading comics sometimes, so I could just get it out of my head, I think the last song that really did that to me was Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. So, let's see. Natasha Irons will be in the new Titans team. Sweet. William, do you think this new version of the Hulk is actually stronger? I don't see him as being stronger. Or will he just have his abilities smarter in many ways? What do you think they mean when they say Immortal Hulk? They're using Immortal Hulk. Al Ewing is writing him in the series, and he's also one of the three authors in, along with Mark Waid and Jim Zub in Avengers No Surrender, like I was saying. But Al Ewing himself is going to be writing the Immortal Hulk comic, and I don't see him as being stronger right now. I see him as being a lot smarter. So I see him as a green version of the Gray Hulk. So if you remember Peter David's Mr. Fix-It, this is my favorite incarnation of the Hulk. So there's a good chance that we're going to get a lot of that in here. But more than that, the way that I'm reading it, that's what I'm getting the vibes of Gray Hulk. But the way that they're describing it in outside media and interviews, I'm getting more of a Solomon Grundy feel. So they say they want to make this into a horror story. I hope that they really do, because I've never seen that with a Hulk. Not really. So looking forward to that. Maybe we'll get some more Nightmare in this. Sean, do you know there's a comic Superman makes a porno with Big Barda? Yes, I do. And unfortunately, that's the comic that a lot of people refer to. Like, oh no, Big Barda has cheated on Mr. Miracle with Superman. No, they were both mind controlled, and just no, not really. And it didn't actually happen. By the way, if you read the comic, it didn't actually happen. It was totally retconned out that there's no way that it happened. So yeah, I don't think that's very cool, especially since Jack Kirby, when he created Big Barda, she was based off of his wife Roz. So Jack Kirby's actually Mr. Miracle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the relationship that he has with these characters. So having her with anybody else, seriously, to me, feels like sacrilege. So to me, that was just somebody who really just didn't get it. Which I understand, it's cool, but Victor, what's going on, dude? How you doing? Hey, Victor, if you said that you wanted to go to some kind of an event again one of these days, if you want to come up to Free Comic Book Day at Gotham Central Comics and Collectibles, just punch in the address. I'll be there, and you can meet a whole bunch of cool people. I just talked. What's his name? Jim Zub, who's on Avengers No Surrender, to go in and hang out and sign some autographs and things like that. He also wrote and drew the what the heck is it called? Samurai Jack comic books too, which is interesting. I actually just found that out from him. I didn't know that. But what's going on, PA Stewart? How you doing? Go Skittle. Thoughts on Extermination and Infinity War comic? Extermination, is there a comic book out right now for Extermination? But as far as Infinity Wars, I'm not. Are you talking about the old original Infinity Wars? I'm not sure. Right now, I'm in the process of putting together notes. Catch it or you miss it. Okay, it's done. It's over. For the Infinity Gauntlet and all of the tie-ins for the Infinity Gauntlet. So we're going to be doing that for the next Spotlight on Story. And as tired as I am, I'm just like, let me just try and get ahead and start doing that. I just put out the prelude to Infinity War today, Spotlight on Story, which is Silver Surfer issues 44 through 50. So those 7 issues. I kept saying 6 issues for some odd reason. Yeah, Victor, it's Cinco de Mayo, so the 5th of May, so that's a Saturday. So awesome. Yeah, I really do hope to see you there. I'll meet you there. We'll hang out. I'm just trying to convince Carlos, the owner, to get pizza for everybody. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of people there, though. Rodrigo, sometimes I think this immortal Hulk is an example of how Banner is trying to find a cure or way to free him. And Hulk stand more and more with his evil persona. You know, the way I look at it is, this version of the Hulk seems more, or this version of Banner seems more of the I can't do anything about this kind of Banner. So while he's in there, he's more like, just in fetal position, curling up, which is, I think, going to be the reason why the Hulk is more able to do whatever he wants. He's not trying to stop the Hulk from going on a rampage. So he's more just like, he's afraid. And I think that, though, it would be nice, I'm just now thinking this with your question, it would be kind of cool if the Hulk felt that fear that Banner has, and it kind of like drove him forward, and he wants to get that in other people also. That's why it's more of a horror story. That would be awesome if they did something like that. Worst case scenario, hey Marvel, I'll write a Hulk comic book, and I will absolutely do that storyline. Go Skittle. It'll have something to do with Blue Infinity Wars. With Blue and Infinity Wars. It's a follow-up to Infinity Countdown. Dude, I was hoping this wasn't going to happen. I'm tearing up. Go Skittles. Comment made me cry. Nah, it's my allergies. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that. Alright, awesome, Victor. So anyway, as I was saying before, Elizabeth Olsen, who plays the Scarlet Witch in the MCU, she says that she would like to do a Scarlet Witch solo movie, but she's hoping that it would be more around the House of M. Good and bad with that. Bad news, lady. It can't be a solo movie if it's House of M. You will be the head of it. You'll be behind everything, but everybody in the Marvel Universe is involved in that, so it won't just be you. The cool thing is you don't really need Spider-Man for that, because Spider-Man very much had his own story there, where it was like, okay, he was considered the coolest of all the mutants, and then the Rhino outed him and said, "Oh, you're not actually a mutant." So everybody's like, "What?" Because he was treating the Rhino like garbage. So that's actually kind of cool. So they could have it. It would be a really important part to the story, but they don't actually need to have Spider-Man there for that. So since there's still the up in the air thing with Sony. But yeah, all of that would actually be really cool. So the good news with that is it just endears Elizabeth Olsen to my heart even more now, because like she's an amazing actor. She portrays this role in like perfect ways. She really looks like the character, and if she's going out and she's actually reading these comic books, that means she actually cares about the character, and just boom, just endeared. I'm so endeared right now. I love hearing about that. You know what I'm saying? What else we got here? When Valeria gets older, do you think she will date? That, yeah, of course she will. And you know what's going to be cool? Is seeing Godfather Doom talking about, hold on there, buddy. First off, I want you to know, I'm Dr. Doom. Do you know me? Good. She's back by 9. Well fed. And exactly the way she looks. That's cool for all of us dads. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that kind of a dad. I'm more like, yeah, you're gonna respect her. You know, actually, I don't even have to. I don't have to tell my daughter's boyfriends anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just they will respect her, and that's it. And if not, she'll come back and she'll tell me. Both of them will come back and tell me, and then we'll have a conversation. No words need to be spoken before, during, or after. So, and yeah, my daughters know that, so they don't have to be embarrassed to bring anybody home like, you know, Daddy's got to be a tough guy. But I could totally see Doom doing that, and that would be great comic reading. Hey, what's going on, Joe Fisher? Do you think she will date? I vote for Ahura. Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. That could actually be pretty cool, Sean. If she's dating Ahura, Black Bolt and Medusa's son. That would be nice. Alright, so Gabrielle Luna. She plays Yo-Yo in Marvel's Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. I did the review for that episode yesterday, and I was worse than I am now. And it was funny because I tried to remember. I knew that she was going to be in something. I couldn't remember what it was, and I just looked it up really quick. And she's going to be in Terminator. She's going to be in the Terminator sequel. So, awesome. I am so glad that Yo-Yo Gabrielle Luna, that Marvel's Agents of S.h.i.e.l.d. has led to bigger and better things for her. I don't want her to necessarily leave, but if she does, Yo-Yo does die in the comics. She actually dies in, I think, issue 1 of Secret Warriors, the most recent version of Secret Warriors, that 12-issue run. She actually dies in there. So she could die in the just like, I don't want to see her leave Agents of S.h.i.e.l.d., but at the same time, if she is going to go off and become a huge movie star, which she could, she's a great actress, then I think that would be awesome. And all the more power to her. And plus, Marvel characters, comic book characters, they come back. It's not that big of a deal. Boom. What else we got? Do you think Old Man Logan will end at issue 50? I think Old Man Logan should end at issue 50. As much as I love Ed Brisson, I absolutely love what he does. Maybe they can move on and do, maybe he can just do a Sabretooth run, because I would love for him to do Sabretooth. I actually talked to him briefly on Twitter, and I was like, dude, what are the chances of you doing a Sabretooth solo story? Can you make that happen? He's, I'll tell you what, you make it happen, and I'll write it. So, yeah, if I had more followers and whatnot, I would actually try and start a petition to Marvel. Like, let Ed Brisson write a Sabretooth solo story. So, anybody behind me on that? What do you got here? Karen Gillan. She's the one who plays Nebula. And I just did Nebula Explained in a Minute on Tuesday, and today I put out Silver Surfer Explained in a Minute. That was fun doing. So, Karen Gillan, who plays Nova, she hopes that Captain Marvel will lead to more female-led superhero movies from Marvel, at the very least. DC, I don't think that they could necessarily. What are they going to do? Are they going to do Supergirl? Are they going to do we really think that they're going to do a Power Girl anytime soon? They already canceled Batgirl. Like, DC is falling apart at the seams, man. And even Wonder Woman 2, it's not looking good right now. Like, all the things that are coming out of it's just not looking good. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. It seems like what's her name? Patty Jenkins, thank you, who directed Wonder Woman. I don't think that she necessarily gets along that well with what's her name? The Wonder Woman actress, whatever her name is. I can't remember right now. Oh my God, I feel so bad. This is horrible. I hope my sniffing isn't bothering you guys. I'm really sorry if it is. I know that could get really annoying. But anyway, yeah, she doesn't get along with her too well. From my understanding, and I haven't read anything that says that. I'm just looking at it. I'm seeing how these two do not complement each other at all. Like when what the heck is what? Thank you, Robin Murad, Gal Gadot. When Gal Gadot talks about thanking everybody for the movie, she didn't thank Patty Jenkins, which is like, that is absurd. That's absurd. And again, if you've heard some of my podcast conversations before, the only reason why that movie was good had nothing at all to do with Gal Gadot. It had everything to do with Patty Jenkins, because this girl who's just basically a swimsuit model or whatever the heck she was, former soldier for the Israeli army. And she's a pretty actress who's not very good at acting. You look at her roles, she's not very good at acting. And yet Patty Jenkins gave these amazing scenes. And again, my favorite scene that she did that proves that she's an amazing writer and director is she had that one guy who couldn't shoot. He's the sniper, Charlie. But he was really good at singing and playing the piano and whatnot. So they had this really great interactive scene, and the Wonder Woman just comes in at the very tail end and says, "But then who will sing for us, Charlie?" And that was perfect, because this girl, Gal Gadot, who couldn't act her way out of a cardboard box, sorry, just my opinion, Patty Jenkins put in this amazing scene. I don't know about her being feminist trash. I don't actually follow her on Facebook or anything like that, or on Twitter or anything like that. I don't know if she does that. But also the feminist trash thing, I don't know if she's I don't know where that's coming from. I really don't. But I know that feminism is not a bad thing. Feminism is just women saying, if men can do it, we can do it too, and that's all there is to it. And I 100% agree. I have no qualms with that whatsoever. Women should be able to do anything that men can do. We don't live in the rest of history. You know what I'm saying? I simply say that simply from the idea that I could not imagine being born a woman and being told that your best bet in life is to get married. and your best bet in life is just do what your husband says, because if the worst thing could happen to you is you get divorced, like, and stay indoors, do whatever he says, and your life is basically owned by this guy. I couldn't imagine leading my life like that. So that's feminism. You know what I'm saying? Is saying that is nonsense. But as far as the feminist trash, if she goes a little bit crazy, if she goes a little crazy with things, I don't know. That's maybe an opinion thing, but yeah, I don't know, like, what kind of things she does. And honestly, there's that old saying, Jack Nicholson said it best, don't get to know your heroes. You know what I'm saying? Do not get to know your heroes, because, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to like who they are. But I do believe that, regardless, I do believe that Marvel will start doing more things. What I'm hoping is that since Kevin Feige's in charge of it and not Marvel, if Marvel itself were in charge of the movies, I'm sure what they would do is just send all of their females, and Marvel has a lot of lead females that they could put in movies, but they would send them all in and just do some random movie, which would be like, that's boring, that's not going to work, that's just not going to work, you know what I'm saying, like they do in the comic books. Like somebody just mentioned recently the America Chavez comics. I've never read America, Miss America, whatever heck her name is, America. I've never read her comics. The only time I've ever seen her in a comic is in the Ultimates 2, which I reviewed those issues, and I literally knew nothing about her. She looked like some all-powerful being, which I'm like, that's kind of boring. I never bothered to read her comics. I can't read all the comics. I just can't. But recently, when I was looking up comics and I was buying a couple comics off of Comixology, I noticed that they had Volume 2, which is issues 7 through 12, I guess, of America, on sale for 99 cents. So that's 6 comic books for 99 cents. And what's funny is, issue 12 just dropped the same day. So that means that already the sales were so horrific that they're like, dude, here's an entire volume of her comics. Even though the comic just got canceled, the last issue came out today, you can get all 6 of those issues for 99 cents each? No, in total. That tells me how little people enjoy reading that comic book. So that alone tells me that there's something wrong with the comic book. But yeah, it is what it is. But the reason why I majorly mentioned Karen Gillan is because since she is playing Nebula, she's completely in makeup, and you can't see her hair, you can't see anything about her. And I've seen her without the makeup on, and she's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, what a crime to constantly make up her up all the time like that. But more than that, like, her being able to play Nebula, that can't be an easy role to play. It just can't be. I couldn't imagine having to play that role, especially with all the makeup. So she must be a great actress. I don't watch enough movies or TV to know what else she's in, but the fact that she's all covered up in makeup and she does a good job playing Nebula, that tells me that she herself could play another Marvel character, and nobody would recognize her. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd be like, oh, that purple chick with the blue chick with the purple, T thing on her face or whatever. No, nobody's gonna recognize her. So that would be awesome. I would love to see Karen Gillan have the opportunity to do something else. Okay, wow, here's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, Rodrigo, one of my wishes in horror comics is one day Marvel create a story about the Hulk against demons from the Italian movie. Do you watch this movie, Demons 2, in 1986? Yes, I have watched Demons 2. I didn't even realize it was an Italian movie, which is funny because I'm Siciliano. Mostly Siciliano. I identify as Sicilian and Cherokee more than anything else, but I have some Dutch and some Irish in me also. But, yeah, I did watch that. That would actually be cool. Yeah, if they did something like that. I remember you talking about that before, and that would actually be really cool, dude. Yeah, if they're going to do a horror movie, like, make it an actual horror comic. Make it scary. Channel in the old EC comics. You know what I'm saying? The old Eerie comics. That would be great to pull off something like that. July solicitations. Oh, for DC and Marvel comes out on Monday and Tuesday. All right, cool. I'll check it out. Oh, there's that name again. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Okay, talking to Cole. I was somewhat unimpressed by Venomized this week. Yeah, I feel you too. And again, I think that for a comic book, Venomized, which it's good. It's not bad, but it just whatever. It's an issue 2 where they feel like they got to get a bunch of action in. I'm waiting for issue 3. I think issue 3 would be a lot better. But That's the one I just happened to pick. That, issue number 705 of Thor, the Mighty Thor. Jane Foster died. She's dead. I cried my eyes out. Go and look at my review of the thing. Like, I had tissues on my eyes and the glass in it. Like, I had the roll and everything. Like, I was literally crying. It was so freaking sad. The issue before that was actually a lot sadder. But, so issue 704 was actually sadder. But issue 705, she died. She's dead. God rest her soul. Gods of Asgard, rest her soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. And issue 706 is supposed to be her memorial, her memorandum, where Thor Odinson actually goes and visits her tomb and memorializes her. And it's like, oh my God, I'm going to cry for that one too. Like, the death of Jane Foster, it just boom, 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 right in my heart, man. Such a sad story. And then what do? All the other comic books in Marvel, they're like, this story that we have Jane Foster in happens before issue 705. No, shut up. Stop being stupid. Write her out of the comic book. All right? Don't do that. Jason Aaron announced for like a year, all right, since 2017 that we're done with Thor. Thor is going to die. Jane Foster Thor. She's dead. All right? Let her rest in peace. And now she's in more comics than she was in before. That's stupid. These guys can't get... And I blame the editors more than anything else. Because, if I'm writing for Marvel Comics, I can't read everybody else's comics. I never get my own work done. You know what I'm saying? I could barely get my own work done reading everybody's comics. But, like, that's just ridiculous, dude. How are you going to sit here to have that? So I'm blaming the editors who should be collaborating with each other. And they're like, okay, yeah, so these characters are going to be in here. The editor that's in charge of Thor, whoever that is, should be like, whoa, you, and you. Oh, and you in the back, yeah. You guys all have Jane Foster Thor in there. On this day, she dies. So you can't have her in any of your comics from that day on. The week prior, and that's it. No more. She's done. All of these comics, it should have been done and known from the beginning. Don't these guys have a schedule? Like, that's like tipping point infuriating to me. Onion ninjas are attacking when you read Thor. Oh yeah, onion ninjas were like climbing up my butthole and just. P.A. Stewart, if you want a Hulk horror comic, give it to Cullen Bunn. Yeah, he is scared the crap out of you more than once. Give it to Cullen Bunn or Donny Cates. Donny Cates is turning Venom into a true horror story also. And Donny Cates, man, this cat, he's doing crazy stuff. But Cullen Bunn's writing too much, man. He's in too many different comic books. And I feel that Cullen Bunn is actually better when he's not in Marvel, personally. A lot of his non-Marvel comics are, like, amazing. Absurdly amazing. I feel like he's just trying to get his name out there by being in the Marvel comics, but it is what it is. Either way, yeah, him or Donny Cates, either of them could absolutely make a horror comic for the Hulk. That would be great. Ghost Skittle, Taskmaster and Bullseye make a good duo in Deadpool this week, plus the wheelchair guy. The guy that was in the wheelchair with the penguin shirt. They really did. I don't believe No Surrender has a disclaimer for Jane. Yeah, honestly, like, whether it does or doesn't make any difference to me. It's like, that's just unacceptable, Ghost Skittle. They need to stop that. So Rage got out of a coma. Yeah, Sean Sadrai, you're right. Rage was put in a coma in the issues of Sam Wilson, Captain America. Now we've got the Falcon comic book, and he's not mentioned at all. But he was knocked out by the AmeriCops, the AmeriCorps. Yeah, the AmeriCops. He was put in a coma. He was beaten practically to death. And now he's just out of his coma and walking around and, hey. It's like, are you... So we don't have any continuity anymore? Again, where are the editors in Marvel? Where are the editors? Heather Antos just left. I had a conversation with her on Reddit. It wasn't really much. I asked her a question, she answered it. That's the most of our conversation had. I'd like to actually have a conversation with her, but I actually asked her about the editors. I was like, listen, like, who's in charge of making sure that you mention this happened in such and such comic? Like, the little asterisks in the narrator's box where it says, for more on this, read Infinity Gauntlet, issue number 3. Something like that. And she's like, yeah, it's completely up to the writers if that happens. I'm like, okay, but it's usually the editors who write that stuff in. I didn't bother saying that to her because I'm not going to beat a dead horse. That's just, getting confrontational with her. But, like, I always see it's the editors who do that. So either way, she's saying it's completely optional, in which case it shouldn't be. And somebody like C.B. Cebulski, Tom Brevoort, is people like this. Like, I figure these guys are trivia masters of Marvel Comics. They should absolutely be pushing this. But like, dude, you need to put all of these things in the comic books. It's like are they just hiring people where you can just put in a job application? Hey, you want to be an editor at Marvel? Do you know how to edit? Yes. Have you ever read comics before? No. You're hired. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Prove that you're a fan first. So, I think that both should be qualifications. Thoughts on Detective Comics facing Brainiac? Well, Detective Comics put a serious beating on Doomsday, which was just ridiculous. Old Tim Drake and young Tim Drake. They're not even running at full pace. As a runner, I used to run. I used to run cross country, and I remember I would every so often when I'm running cross country have a quick conversation with myself, talk with myself, because if I can't talk while I'm running, then I'm running too fast. You know what I'm saying? Cross country is second about speed, first about endurance. And if you're running so fast that you can't talk, you're running too fast. Now you're sprinting. You can't be sprinting doing cross country. So, yeah, dude, like I couldn't, like, no way, dude. No way. So these two running away from Doomsday and having a conversation with each other, literally just a pleasant conversation, and then they just chump him by closing a door on him. But it was multiple times. He's like, he breaks through a wall, comes out, oh, he's coming back again. Yeah, I noticed. Hey, should we run faster? Nah, let's just keep it at this comfortable pace. Doomsday was so quick that that Superman couldn't see him move in the Death of Superman. Remember that? So how is it now that he's trotting along? Oh, I'm gonna catch you guys. I'm Doomsday. I'm so sick and tired of them punking out Doomsday. And now Detective Comics, look, I love James Tynion IV, but like that was wrong. How he just took a crap all over Doomsday. So yeah, I don't know if I want to see him doing the same thing to Brainiac. I mean, Brainiac is supposed to be smarter than Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor is the smartest person in the DC universe, on Earth at least. After that is Batman, after that is Mr. Terrific. So I don't want to see him getting completely punked out, you know, Brainiac I'm talking about, because Batman had a pretty clever idea. No, I don't want to see that. That's not what I'm looking for. Just past something I think I'd want to read. Captain America 701 through 704 is about Jack Rogers. That's cool. Is Mark Waid writing him again? Because I think that Mark has just gotten a little bit too... I think he's let all of the Comicsgate people get to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually writing comics against them. That's what it feels like. If you guys saw my review of issue 700 of Captain America, I got so upset. It was like a 17-minute conversation I had. I actually pulled out my mission statement. I had to find my mission statement and read my mission statement to talk about how we should have mission statements, whatever we're going to do in life. Because, just go back and check out that review for more. I could go scale. I could possibly not read the new Fantastic Four because Slot's on it. The way you feel about Jane and her disclaimers is the way I feel about Chip. Not on this book. Slott is so bad. I feel the exact opposite about Dan Slott. I love Dan Slott's writing. Like, he can be hit or miss. He absolutely can, but like, he gave us Superior Spider-Man, which is my favorite incarnation of Spider-Man. I love that, and what he's doing with Dr. Octopus and everything, like, it's amazing. He's done a lot of cool things with Spider-Man. I know not everything's perfect, but I feel like he's really got the heart of Spider-Man down. You know, I was just reading a Spider-Man. It was actually Spider-Man issue number 17 today. I was just reading it today, and it's exactly like the way that Dan Slott writes. I forget who actually wrote that issue, but like Peter Parker, he's just like, what? You can do something I don't like? Boom! It just punches somebody, and it's like, dude, you can't solve all your problems by punching somebody in the face. But that's who Peter Parker's always been. He's always been immature, and I feel like Dan Slott nailed that as good as anybody else. You know, so I don't know. I like Dan Slott on Spider-Man. So I don't know. We'll see. Go back and forth. Victor, sorry that I'm getting lost in the comic talk, but how's that comic book RPG coming along that you said you were working on? Sorry if you answered it. No, I didn't answer it. what happened? And yes, I see the next thing. He did grab Flash right out of a run. Exactly. He's too fast. So how are the two Tim Drakes outrunning him while talking? But no, I have to put together my, what do you call it? I have to put together, there's actually a lot about RPGs right now. I have to put together my webpage first because I feel very naked without a webpage. You know what I'm saying? So once I finish doing that, then I'm going to start working on my RPG. So like I'm prioritizing what I'm going to be doing next and whatnot. And then, so then when I'm working on my RPG, then I'll actually try and get as much of it written as possible. And then I'll start putting together things so I can actually do a Kickstarter for it. And we'll see about actually getting it kickstarted. And depending on what exactly is going to happen, I actually plan on taking a class on using 3D printers and trying to make my own molds for figurines. Because I'm actually planning on giving figurines out for the 3 and 3/4 inch scale. No, 1 and 3/4 inch scales for like the HeroClix size for scale models for whatever, you know what I'm talking about, the little figurines. I plan on doing stuff like that. I plan on making my own terrain. I plan on making a whole bunch of things for this. It's specifically going to be a superhero RPG. Like, too many people are trying to do a universal game. Nah, dude, GURPS did a universal game best. Everybody else should just stick to making, like, Open Legend. Open Legend was, great for fantasy stuff or whatever, but they were too much, for me, they were too much trying to encompass everything. Nobody's going to replace Dungeons & Dragons for their fantasy stuff, or Pathfinder for their fantasy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to get enough people doing that. So you're trying to skim off the top, and there's no froth to skim. And just, it's not acceptable. Hey, man, you could try and steal from Mutants Masterminds and steal the RPG, the superhero RPG from them, but, like, you're just covering too many. It's like, it's like Hitler in World War II. We'd all be speaking German if he didn't turn around and attack Russia on the exact opposite front that he was fighting everybody else. We'd all be speaking German. You know what I'm saying? Like that. If Hitler made one mistake, tactical mistake, it was attacking Russia when he didn't have to. He had a peace treaty with them. Like, wow. Like when you think about how scary one decision, it could have changed all of our lives for much the worse. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about some of these RPGs without the evil mustache thing. They're trying to skim off the top, and I'm just looking to make an actual superhero RPG. That's it. Not trying to go crazy with anything else. But that being said, I'm still doing my Marvel stuff. Every Monday I'm putting out a new Marvel Explained, Marvel RPG Explained from the 80s. And every Monday that comes out, and the final bit for Gadgeteering comes out this Monday, and the Wednesday after that, I'm going to be on a podcast. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but I'll get it to you guys by next Saturday. Sorry. I'm going to be on a podcast where I'm actually talking to these guys about the Marvel Face Rip game. So that's kind of cool. It's a small one, but yeah, I'm going to be all over it. Really quick, I see Ghost Skill. Who's my favorite MCU hero? Captain America, dude. He's my favorite no matter what. Loves me some Captain America. Okay, who else is... The script. Oh, you guys are talking about movies. I love that. I loved Superior Spider-Man. Joe Fisher says, we get a different Spider-Man. I do wish it was longer than 31. I know, right? I'm really hoping Superior Spider-Man comes back. I love that stuff. Okay, the Invincible Iron Man thing with Blade. Yes, it is really stupid. The guy's not a pizza delivery guy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't work for... He doesn't work for FedEx. He's not here to just deliver, messages and move on. It's like, come on, dude. But even, I complained about him in the Falcon. Oh, I didn't put that review out yet. When the review comes out for Falcon, the latest issue of Falcon, I complained about him there too. Like, what are they doing? He's hitting on somebody there. He's hitting on Misty Knight there. It's like, come on, dude. Blade is like above that, and I'll get into that when you actually see it on Sunday. Tomorrow I'll put that out. So that's awesome. Sounds like you've really got this planned out. Yeah, I do try to plan things out in advance. If you need someone to play your first game, make sure you get a hold of me. Victor, I absolutely will get a hold of you for a playtest. 100% guaranteed. I'll try and get a hold of you for a playtest. Ghost Skittle, is Marvel intentionally editing Hawkeye out, or is he not in it? No, well, it depends on what you mean. The MCU, he's going to be in it, but he's going to be playing Ronin, they're saying. They might switch it up on us, and he might actually be playing Goliath, which would, I think, be more interesting, since they're kind of indicating that Ant-Man might not be in the movie. But either way, either way just seems good to me. Red Black Kane 2099, what's up, dude? And Raven, what's going on, brother? Ghost Skittle and Red Black Kane. I keep on forgetting. After I hang up with everything, I always see that you put, like, God bless or whatever. That's awesome. I like that you do stuff like that. That's really cool, man. Bless you also, dude. Should Taika Waititi have more power in the MCU? That depends. He could get out of control. He really could get out of control. Every single joke that was hit in Thor Ragnarok, it was good, but my heart jumped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh God, there's going to be one joke too many. Oh no, okay, it actually landed. That's pretty cool. So there were a lot of jokes, but they were good. But there were still a lot of jokes. So I was scared the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my wife said, it's like, this one was a little bit too funny. I was like, I know, right? It's a little weird. So it depends. It depends. I heard Lawrence Fishburne was Goliath in Ant-Man, yes, and the Wasp, and I thought they confirmed it. Yes, you're 100% right. He is going to be playing Bill Foster in that movie. But during the Kree-Skrull War in the Avengers, Hawkeye was like, yeah, what am I going to do with these bows and arrows? They're not going to work. So he went to Hank Pym, and he's like, listen, can you help me out? So he got this this new suit where it was like white and blue and bare-chested, but he had like these blue suspenders on with studded suspenders, and he turned into Goliath. He called himself Goliath at that point. And he was just basically Giant Man, but Clint Barton as Hawkman, as Giant Man. So I was actually hoping that's what they were going to lead to, because that would explain why Ant-Man would not be in this movie if he's not in this movie. I think that would be cool. Everybody's talking about, oh, he's going to go in as Ronin. What's the difference between Ronin and Hawkeye, though? I see absolutely no difference between the two. But if he is going to be running with Captain America and they're going to be doing the Secret Avengers, then I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be U.S. agent. Captain America's going to be U.S. agent, essentially. You know? Just, I don't know, it's weird. So if they're going to be doing that, then, I'm sorry, PA. Hey, wait, allergies aren't contagious. Anyway, yeah, I am really sick, guys, so really cool talking to all you guys. I am going to bounce now, though. Like, I've got this headache piercing right in the side of my temple. So I'm going to bounce. Will Aquaman be good? Ghost Skittle? I'm literally, like, praying. I'm praying that it's going to be good. Because if it's not, as far as I'm concerned, wink out the DCEU. Literally. Wink it out of existence. We don't need it anymore. The segment. Thank you, Sean. Okay. So, the segment. Let's see what... I hope you don't have too much stuff here, because I'm fading fast. Oh, man. This internet is not going fast enough. Hurry up! Okay, there's the front page. Okay, and here's Sean. Alright, so what do we got? Oh, come on, man. Okay, Exiles looks funny. Is that Namor? Look at Namor. Look at Namor in the upcoming Exiles comic. That's hysterical. Oh. Who's he fighting? Well, let me black out of this. Batman number 51. Oh, so this is after the wedding. I guess that's going to be Mr. Freeze. It kind of looks like Mr. Freeze there, doesn't it? Oh, come on. Seriously? You're going to... Okay, it's not going to be cool with me. Anyway, so what else do we have here? Exiles 2 teaser. Cool little chibi version. Black Panther next week. Black Panther is, issue number 172. Guys, if you didn't see my review or you didn't read the comic for Black Panther issue 171, you guys remember the Fall of the Mutants? Yeah. The Fall of the Mutants under the X-Men. Who was the main bad guy there? This big Native American looking bad guy called Adversary. I don't think he's been in the comics since, but he just appeared at the end in a cameo of Black Panther. That is crazy. He's the main bad guy behind everything, the main spirit that the bad guys have been summoning, which is crazy. Adversary is back, and Black Panther has to fight him. I literally, I read the comic book, and I almost dropped the comic book, but I definitely, moved back. I'm like, whoa! So that was freaky. Definitely be jumping on that. Okay, the Superman coming up pretty soon. That's gorgeous. I love the way that's drawn. Oh, Action Comics number... Oh! You got the cover for Action Comics 1001. Nice. 1K1. Nice. That looks cool. Detective Comics 980. That looks... Whoa, who's that? Oh! I knew it. I knew it. He's going to have to join up with the Colony. I knew he was going to have to join up with the Colony because he's there with Batwoman. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Bendis also. No. Go ahead, dude. Go Skittle. If you got questions, I'm on now. Now's the time to ask them. Batgirl versus the Riddler in a wedding preview. Nice. Nice. I'm not a huge fan of the art there, but Red Hood versus Anarchy wedding prelude. So they're going to be doing a lot of wedding preludes. Okay, that's cool. And Red Hood versus Anarchy could be cool. Okay, what's this? How should we make our fans enjoy comics again? This is the DC meeting room. Watchmen sequel that takes years to come out. Somebody else suggests, make big stories with confusing plots that no one really understands. Someone else suggests, give solo series to popular characters that fans want. And that's the one that everybody would like, and they throw him out the window. That's messed up. That's messed up. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind seeing, like I said, a Godspeed comic and a couple comics like that. I think that would be great. Like, what a fantastic idea that would be, you know? Okay, so... Benadryl tea, nighty night, and hope you feel better. Yeah, I'm actually doing Tylenol cold and sinus, but that actually got me on my feet. But yeah, Benadryl's not such a bad idea. Go Skittle. Which free comic book day are you most excited for, Spider-Man or Avengers? I know the Avengers one coming out. I don't know what Spider-Man one is coming out, so I'm going to have to say Avengers for right now. Hey, Magician Man, what's going on? Magic Man, just stopping by to say peace to all. Hashtag Nerd Life. What's going on, brother? Go Skittle. Will Ant-Man be in Infinity War? I mentioned before, he might be. We're not sure. They just showed a picture of his costume in a drawer, so he might be in there. I don't know. Like I said, if they did Hawkeye as Goliath, that could work. Is a Black Widow movie a good idea? A Black Widow movie has been a good idea forever, dude. It's been a good idea forever. And it's disappointing that they allowed Wonder Woman to come out before the Black Widow movie, when we've all been teaming for it. Good night, Sean. Aggressively Relaxing. What's going on, man? Great channel. Thanks for all the videos. You're welcome. My pleasure. I thought I saw all this Pulp Fiction imagery in Old Man Logan. Yeah, I did also. When I asked the writer, he was like, no. Oh, really? Yeah, what's his name? Ed Brisson. I don't know, man. He puts a lot of Pulp Fiction type... I thought the exact same thing. If he's saying no, then it is what it is, but there's definitely an influence there. That's all the questions for me. All right, see you later, man. Nick Spencer. What about Nick Spencer? What about Nick Spencer? I don't get it. Joe Fisher. Can't wait to see how Cry Havoc Part 4 turns out. I think he's going to turn into Bastion. Oh, turn on Bastion. It would be cool if there was some kind of redemption there, man, because he really needs it right now. Like, Havoc, the last cool thing he did was during the Secret Empire, he let the Inhumans go. You know what I'm saying? Which is not good for the mutants, I guess. Actually, it kind of is, but... Oh, he's the Free Comic Book Day writer. Oh, yes, that's right. I'm excited to see what Nick Spencer is going to be doing for Spider-Man. I think that him having something where it's like there's got to be a definitive ending is not always the best for him. When he's just doing an ongoing series, it's great. He's got, like, his build-up to everything, like Pleasant Hill, was just great. It was just so perfect, you know? All the different things that he's done, I've loved what he's done. But the ending of Secret Empire didn't really hit it for me. It was like, really? That's it? So... yeah, I don't know, whatever. But but him doing an ongoing where he doesn't have to have an end in sight right away, no, I think that he'll do a good job on it, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's it, everybody. All right, guys, I'm going to go and die. So, thank you so much for popping in, saying hi, interaction. I love it all. All right, guys. Love, peace, and hair grease. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.